name is Scarlett Hiller. I am one of the franchise partners for the Expedia Cruises office in Edmonton. There are 6 Edmonton locations participating in these events, along with the West Vancouver location. Cruising has begun. Travel has begun. Cruise ships are starting to sail. We've had 4 months of successful sailings in Alaska, Caribbean, and Europe. And our last presentation, their specialty, of course, is the Caribbean. So all of these cruise lines are having successful sailings, as well as river cruising in Europe. They have started again this summer. Cruises are operating safely with the highest health protocols, and cruising by far is the safest way to travel. So I just want to touch base one last time about why book with Expedia Cruises travel consultant. We offer the expertise with all the different cruise lines. We can offer pricing. You will never pay more booking direct. You will never pay less booking direct with the cruise line. And we can offer extra amenities where the cruise lines just don't do it. So booking direct or booking with us, you get extra shipboard, you can get extra shipboard credits and amenities. Plus we offer information regarding all of the information that you need right now regarding passports, visas, entry requirements, and COVID tests and protocols. And then of course we can assist you with any emergencies that come up. And it is, you have the ability when booking with us to book your entire vacation, from your air to your cruise to your travel insurance and all of the pre and post stuff, hotels and excursions as well. So we're a one-stop shop. So with that said, as I mentioned before, now is the time to start planning to book your 2022-23 travel. Now is the time. Even though you're not ready to, you might not be ready to travel, now definitely is the time to plan. And our team of Expedia Cruises travel advisors can help you with all of that planning. So finally, I want you to sit back and relax and let's talk with Colin Price as he shows us Royal Caribbean, and he's going to be featuring multi-generational family cruising. And Colin is our strategic accounts manager with Royal Caribbean. So I welcome you, Colin, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Scarlett. A pleasure. Just quick thumbs up. Can you hear me okay? Just double checking. Yeah, awesome. I was just going to start off with, I love this back image as well. When you look at the back of the ship, the after the ship, for you that have cruised before, when you're looking at the after the ship, this is probably something a little bit different than your standard cruising. I also have to say, I really enjoyed the Silver Sea presentation. I think called it a fabulous job. I actually used to work on board Silver Sea in my past life, so it was really great to see that product again, which is part of the Royal Caribbean family. Now, actually, a little background about myself. So my name is Colin Price. I've been with Royal Caribbean International for 6 years. This is my 25th year in the cruise industry. However, my journey did start at a much younger age. That was actually, my family loved to cruise back when I was a kid, and it used to be, here's a crayon, go play. Times have slightly changed in those last few years, obviously, and there's so much to do on board, really for everybody. Fast forward about 35 years later, and I've got my first cruise with my son Jackson, who's 6 months of age, taking him as well. We had to put the last year on hold for obvious reasons, but I can't wait to get back out there and start exploring again. All right, so within this short little time, I'm going to be talking fast and kind of going over a few key points. One, health and safety obviously is a very, very big concern. I'm going to talk about our award-winning ships and what makes Royal Caribbean so special. Why do we continue to win these awards year after year after year? I'm going to talk about the amazing destinations that we cruise to, and I'm going to touch on a few of our private islands, and I'm going to bring that all together with our multi-generational cruising. starting off with health and safety, cruising in general really is a fabulous way to vacation, but cruising in general has always been held to a higher standard than a regular kind of land vacation. For the last 20 years before COVID, you would have to clean your hands when you come back on with the Purell. You'd Purell your hands before you'd go into the buffet stations. It's like the rest of the world is kind of caught up to what our minimum standards were. So there's a lot of pre-testing. We do PCR testing at the end of the cruise now. So before you are flying home, we arrange that the last day of your cruise. So, or if you need an antigen test, that's the name, we're looking for the PCR test. We have changed the muster drill. We were already working on this before COVID. And this was for you that haven't cruised before, that first day of the cruise, you have to kind of line up just in case of an emergency. You knew where to go, what to do. Back in the day, you used to have to go out there with a life jacket on there. We were already looking at how we could change it where you go to a lounge, just get checked off. Now you can do this from your smart device, your tablet, your phone, while you're doing your check-in on the dock. So you can actually go ahead and do your muster drill. So you're not having to line up come that time at 4 o'clock, just making that whole that process that much easier. We have open source this, so we are actually giving this to other cruise lines to embrace to use this technology as well. Obviously, we're doing a lot with the rooms and sanitization and making sure that we are using hospital grade across the board as well. Now we are actually 50 years of cruising now, and I love this little image because you can see the aft of one of our first ships and next to compared to what our newest ship looks like, and you can just see the growth. But I'm going to take you on a little tour inside what that actually looks like. Now we really have evolved over that last 50 years, and the one thing that remains consistent across the board with the Royal Caribbean International brand is we are quality meets energy. You're going to see that time and time and time again throughout all of this. Now, I have a lot of different ships of all different sizes. Today, I'm going to be really talking just about a couple of them and highlighting them in this particular time. First off is our newest class of ships, the Quantum class. These are billion-dollar ships. That was billion. And so these ships are absolutely spectacular. So we have the Quantum Anthem Ovation Spectrum, and the newest to our family is the Odyssey. She's a Quantum Plus ship, and I'll talk about what that actually little plus means as well. I love the little elephant in the room as well. You can see North Star that actually takes you all the way up in the air, hangs you off the side of the ship. If we were cruising out of New York past the Statue of Liberty, this will put you nose to nose with the Statue of Liberty. So amazing perspective that it gives. A lot of firsts at sea as well, and that's what I love with Royal Caribbean, really being that pioneer leader of innovation as well. These activities that you see on board are complimentary. There is no extra charge to try. If you want to try skydiving, but you don't want to jump out of a perfectly fine airplane, I gotcha. We have skydiving at sea for you here. We looked and we have a basketball court traditionally or outside, and we found that in the daytime or in the evening, that space sits empty, or on a rainy day, that space sits empty. Now, I don't know about you, but I have no care to play basketball on my cruise, okay? So in the daytime, what we've done is we've moved the basketball court indoors, but it's transformed throughout the day. So when it's not a basketball court, it can be bumper cars or a roller skating rink or a private party. And I'll tell you, the funny thing is who you think is actually on those bumper cars. It's not who you're guessing. It's 65 plus is the average age on those bumper cars in the night. So, and actually what we've done on the Quantum Plus, on the Odyssey, is we've added a really cool sports bar up above. And again, this kind of all brings together because we can use this venue as another like party event as well. So if you want to do your own private party or pickleball or something like that, you can use this space as well. So from the ripcord by iFly, the skydiving at sea. I think actually in Calgary, off the top of my head, there is one of those in Calgary, and I believe it's about $140 for 60 seconds versus complimentary on board our Royal Caribbean ships as well. Obviously, we have a really unique restaurants as well, from like these Wonderland, that's the Alice in Wonderland, Mad Hatter kind of concept, to more of that family style sharing with like the Jamie Oliver's Italian Kitchen. We have different steakhouses and Japanese, you name that kind of restaurant, we have it on board. I love this one particular lounge. This lounge cost more money than the first 2 Royal Caribbean ships combined. Literally transforms throughout the day. Nice little bakery around the corner, but in the evening, we use these 8K projectors against that glass to animate it. And I'm gonna go back one slide for a second. You see those gold rings at the top. Because we don't have a backstage, the performers come out of the ceiling or where that little planter is, and they pop out and all of a sudden, boom, you are in the show. It is really quite spectacular. Now, moving over to our Oasis class. These are the largest cruise ships in the world. They are absolutely spectacular. These are actually my favorite ships, I have to say. I'm a huge fan of this. And we actually have a fifth that is coming out next summer, the Wonder of the Seas. She's going to be doing some Mediterranean cruises. The way that these ships are so different is that traditionally, most ships on average, your showroom is at the front and your dining room is at the back. And if we were to say in a ship that has, I don't know, 1,500 people on it, generally the people that are going to the 6 o'clock dinner would go to an 8 o'clock show. The people that went to an 8 o'clock dinner would go to a 10 o'clock show. And traditionally what happens is as the dining gets out of one, and the entertainment gets out of the other, most people are kind of passing each other. And that's where that kind of little bit of a crowd hits. But what's really cool with the Oasis class is because we have different venues around, we have different dining rooms around, we have different shows happening at different times, and we have all different floors. So you're not getting that congestion like you might on maybe a mid-sized ship. I'm going to take you through this neighborhood concept because what I might be in the mood for is going to be very different than maybe what Liz is in the mood for, and maybe what Scarlett might be in the mood for. So taking a little tour over at the adult solarium area. So in the daytime, a great place to hang out. The ski days are fabulous up here as well. You would think where there's seating for about 250 people on a given day, it's probably 40, maybe 50 people sitting up here. But again, this is an adult only solarium area. There's a great little restaurant tucked over there. You can bring children to the restaurant. It is a healthier cuisine restaurant choice as well. But great. And then in the evening, it's usually pretty quiet here. Usually once or twice a cruise will actually use this as like a nightclub venue as well. So that we've kind of got that open air, but then also still kind of closed off in certain areas as well. Now, as I kind of move us from the front of the ship, I'm going to take us to the other side of the ship where all like the pool and sports zone is as well. So we have the FlowRider, that's the surfing at sea. But if you don't want to try surfing, you could try the boogie board. Or maybe you just want to people watch. Maybe you want to watch your grandkids doing or your kids doing it. Or but there's a lot of people out there. I like to go out there first thing in the morning before anybody else is out there. And it's a great way to have that space. We have multiple pools around the ship. So it's not like we just have one in the center. We have multiple swimming pools that you're going to find located around. I actually love this image of this lady standing here because you can see two of the pools offhand. So you'll notice right next to each of those pools, the lifeguard standing there as well. Actually, on our private island Perfect Day, there's over 100 lifeguards that actually live on the island as well. So of course, we take safety as priority number one. Kids have their own little pool, splash away bay zone area. There's mini golf, there's zip lining, we have rock climbing. I mentioned about the surfing. These are all complementary activities for you on board. Now, again, if this is not your forte, you're like, I don't want to do that. I want my quiet spot. That's okay. We've got that for you. Come down to Central Park. I love Central Park. There's over 14,000 trees and plants as you walk through this area. In the evening, it's just kind of got that romantic feel to it where you can hear the birds chirping. I remember one evening sitting out there and there's 3 cello players playing Phantom of the Opera, and it was just so nice to just sit and relax and to have my quiet spot. There's some fabulous restaurants located down this area. There's a little wine bar that is, I don't know why it's never busy, but I can guarantee you will always find a seat and a glass of wine ready to go for you there as well. Now, directly below Central Park is our promenade area. So I'm going to make a little mental note of that little glass dome that you kind of see there, because that's actually a little bar that you can walk into. And as you're sitting there, I'm going to show you where that would actually come to. It'll take you down into the heart of our ship, into the promenade area. And along the promenade, it's got all these amazing little gift shops. There's a little Irish pub. There's a Latin dance club. And then this is the rising tide bar that would take you from the promenade deck all the way up into the Central Park. So it's a moving bar. So you'd basically sit down, they kind of close the gate behind us. The bartender would drive us on up to that next level. It's about 15 minutes as you sit there, but it's really cool because your atmosphere is changing around you as you're sitting there. There's all of a sudden you can see there's a piano bar, and then before you know it, we're all the way up into Central Park. And if you decide to go for a walk there, you can, or you stay on, whatever you may want to do. Little pizzerias, little cafes, Starbucks, again, all located down in the Royal Promenade. And then we also have, of course, the karaoke. It's funny, as soon as you get onto a ship, it seems everybody's a karaoke star. This is always a popular area in the evenings as well. So that's kind of taking you through 4 of the neighborhoods already. And I'm going to take you a little bit further, and you're kind of probably curious, where are all the kids at a time like this as well? Well, I'll show you where we lock them up. I mean, where we keep them here. All right. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I wanted to show the entertainment boulevard first. So first off, where all the entertainment is, the ice rinks, you're going to be on the largest cruise ship in the world with the world's smallest Zamboni. Really quite cool. One of the neatest shows. It's amazing to see them being able to do backflips and all these neat little tricks here as well. I really do recommend it. So one night you may be seeing the real Broadway production show. One night you're going to see the ice skating show. Maybe you're going to go over to the jazz club. Again, there's all this amazing entertainment. Now, the one big difference with our award-winning shows that we have on board is that we actually do more Broadway production shows a year than Broadway does. So this way, you're not seeing 30 seconds of one show and 30 seconds of another show. It's a real Broadway production show. Shows like Cats, Mamma Mia, Hairspray, the full Broadway production show, and it is complimentary included there, where you would pay easily about $150 or so to see something like that in New York. Now, the Kids Club, we break down the kids into all different age groups. One of the big things to know is that all of our camp counselors all have a minimum of a 4-year university degree background in childcare. So we're not just hiring Joe Smith off the road to come look and take care of your children. You know, we've got great minds that are looking after your kids as well, and tons of amazing activities to do on board, from science classes to cooking classes to painting classes. You saw the other activities around the ship that they will have access to as well. So they're going to be keeping very, very busy with lots to do for them. So you see that we broke it down to all different age groups. So you don't have a bunch of 10-year-olds in with a bunch of 14 or a bunch of 14-year-olds in with a bunch of 17-year-olds. They are getting their vacation and you're getting your vacation. It's really a win-win. And then of course, everybody usually comes together at dinner and during our tour excursions as well, or if you decide to walk off in port and do your own thing. A lot of the younger families I find kind of orientate to the after the ship, and this is kind of that Coney Island experience along the boardwalk. Really cool, this really neat carousel that kind of spins you around there. There's a Mexican restaurant on the Symphony and Oasis. There's actually a really neat sports bar that kind of opens up. And then those 2 giant purple things that you see there, that's the ultimate abyss. It's a dry slide that takes you all the way from deck 16 down to deck 6. It's about a 8-second drop. It is an absolute blast. It's a lot of fun. It's a dry slide. You just sit on a mat and away you go. Now I'm going to take you all the way down to the after this area to have a little bit of a closer look as well. So this is the Aqua Theater. It's basically this outdoor theater where we have these Olympic divers diving into this tiny little pool here. It is really amazing. So now you've got the Broadway theater show at the front, you've got the Aqua Theater in the back, you've got the ice rink in the middle. You have endless entertainment. You can, before your cruise, you can go onto your Royal Caribbean app and you can pick what shows you want to see on what night and correspond it with your dinner to kind of make your vacation experience kind of smooth and simple when you're on board. If you decide you want to skip a show, not a problem. Just don't show up. You can do whatever you want to do. Now, what I love is the seats up in this corner here. These are the Aqua Theater suites. This is as VIP as you can get. We have 1- and 2-bedroom Aqua Theater style rooms. If you get the 2-bedroom Aqua Theater room, it's full butler service. It's your royal genie. Includes absolutely everything from your gratuities, specialty dining, you name it, it's included. Look at that. That veranda is stunning. Again, you've got that wraparound patio, big, beautiful living room as well. This is one of my favorite suites. Just going to touch on a few of our older class ships. These are our ones that we recently reamped. We spent over close to $250 million per ship, taking these ships kind of to that next level, kind of sprucing up, kind of really designed for that short cruise experience. But the one ship I really want to showcase here is the Navigator of the Seas. The Navigator of the Seas is actually going to be cruising out of LA. And so a little bit closer to home. We haven't cruised out of LA in over 10 years. So we're going to be doing round trip cruises from 3, 4-day, 5, and 7-night cruises, round trip LA, Navigator of the Seas. Ship looks absolutely stunning. So really great for that either Vegas cruising stay, whatever kind of vacation you're looking for, that Navigator will check the box. Ships over in the future, the next 5 years, you can see we've got all of these ships coming out. Wonder of the Seas is the next, it's $1.5 billion. So we continue to invest to make sure that we are bringing you the best product that we possibly can. As you can see, I am in one of our suites right now and just kind of showing you what a couple of our suites look like as well. So again, we've got our regular insides, we've got inside staterooms with virtual balconies, and then we've got our Royal Loft Suite like I'm in. But then we wanted to see how can we make the ultimate family suite. So we took the suite I'm in and redesigned it with like a slide in the room, double bunk beds for the kids in there, while still the parents can have their own room as well with a TV that pops out of the ceiling, 3 bathrooms. So you've got your own dedicated one, the kids have their own. It is spectacular. So that's called the ultimate family suite, something to check out as well. Now we do cruise roughly to over 300 destinations around the world, 6 continents, 30 home ports. I'm going to talk about all 300 of them right now in the next minute and a half. Does that sound good? Scarlett's like, good luck. All right. So again, we cruise all around the world. Your team at Expedia can happily tell you more about them. I did want to just highlight the Barbados itinerary. 7 nights, 7 ports. This has been an extremely popular itinerary that I've seen for the Canadian market as well. And the last few kind of things just to touch on is a couple of our private islands. First off, Labadee in Haiti. This used to be the first original, I think, the Chill and Thrill, where we have a couple like the zip lining over the bay, roller coasters throughout the jungle. But if that's not your jam, you're like, I just want to sit and flop and relax. We got you. You can do that as well. So it's all set there. Now, to take that, well, actually, one thing I'm just going to showcase on there as well. When I was back on Labadee, you noticed that it had a real dock. That was one of the biggest things what made Labadee so special. The fact that we could dock and you could walk off the ship. Some of the other private islands out there, like Coco Cay, did not have a dock. And therefore, if the weather was rough, it was unsafe for us. We would have to go to another port. So we reinvested into Coco Cay, rebranding it as the perfect day, spending over $250 million. And the biggest thing that we did right off the bat, adding a real dock. Now, this takes the thrill and chill to a whole other level. So if you're looking to relax, you can do that here. If you're looking for that real thrill, we have it. So just a quick walk through a perfect day. We have the largest freshwater pool in all of the Caribbean. The kids would love this area. The adults will love this area. If you want a little bit more of a relaxing area while the kids are over at the Thrill Water Park, you could head over to the Coco Beach Club. This is where you're going to find our overwater bungalows, really great relaxing area, kind of elevating your private island experience to that next level. So I don't know about you, but I could definitely see myself in one of those overwater bungalows for the afternoon. So as I flip over to the Thrill Water Park, that is the tallest water slide in all of North America. Now, I'm not a water slide park guy myself until I went down that thing and I had a blast. It was an absolute hoot. You've got zip lining around the island, up and away. This hot air balloon ride that gives you a beautiful view. And then you can just see how large this water park is with over 13 different water slides. It is phenomenal. So again, there's a lot to do. Now, as our travel all changes for all of us of our different styles of what we all might be in the mood for, like I said, I know Liz is all about the thrill and Scarlett's over there and she wants to relax. But myself, my vacation experience is changing again. So I'm probably going to be heading over towards this wave pool. And now with my little 3-year-old Jackson, we are going to be heading to the pirate ship, shooting water cannons, playing on that in that little slide. So that's where my, actually probably going to be roping grandma and grandpa into this while I'm at that swim up bar. It's fun what I'm going to be doing. But either way, this is how I can see now would be my perfect day as well. Lots of restaurants located around the ship. Don't worry, around the island, you won't go hungry. Just to wrap up the last little bit, right now we do have a 30% off promotion for all guests to a bonus $150 instant savings as well. We have a special bonus offer as well, especially dining for 2. So one of those restaurants like Wonderland, you could have that included, as well as a soda package. And if you are traveling, sometimes if maybe you're a group of 4, we actually have these additional like onboard credits. Now, one thing I did want to just spend 1 extra minute talking about, Scarlett had actually mentioned at the very beginning that quite often you will find a better price when you're booking with Expedia Cruises versus if you were to call Royal Caribbean directly. And I really wanted to highlight how true that really is. I was actually just talking with a few of the offices this morning. We were looking at a report and there was multiple cruises that were over 60% less than what we are selling it for at Royal Caribbean. There is phenomenal discount. So that 60% they have is actually better than that 30% off that you're seeing here. So if you ever find that there's a deal that they don't have that amazing price advantage, that's where this $100 extra bonus will come into place for you as well. But there are hundreds of room categories that have these price advantages. The only catch is there's only so many rooms on each of these ships that they have, so you need to book further in advance to lock that down. And I can guarantee you, you're not going to see a savings like that. So make sure to call your Expedia cruise ship team because they can tell you all about it. There's phenomenal savings, and I just want to say thank you so much. We do have our cruise of confidence extended a little bit longer. And I just wanted to kind of touch on that. We went over health and safety, our award-winning ships. We talked about over 300 destinations, our 2 private islands, and again, all of the multiple awards that we win year after year after year. 18 consecutive years of best cruise line in the Caribbean, best cruise line for private island, and best cruise line for entertainment. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen with me. It's a pleasure working with the team with Expedia. They really are the dream team. So thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you very much, Colin. Your presentation was great as always. My goal would be the Splash Speedway. I would like to try that. But as you can see, and as Colin highlighted, there are so many activities for the entire family, both on board one of their amazing ships and that perfect day at Coco Cay. So there's something for everyone. Again, Colin, I want to thank you, and I want to thank everybody for joining us. Now is the time to start planning and thinking about your next travel. Our Expedia Cruises advisors are here to help. Just reach out to them. Again, I thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time, your past travels with us, and we look forward to helping you plan your future trips as well.